Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're doing a first impression review of the Vivobarefoot GOBI Sneaker Premium Canvas Edition. Let's check it out. Up front, you've got Vivo's best toe box, in my opinion. It's got a ton of room here, and then it's a little more squared off than some of their other styles, which can taper. Plus, there's just a ton of room on the top of the shoe to really open it up if you either have high arches or wider foot. I think, honestly, this might even fit someone with an extra wide foot because the widest part of the front is about 4.75 inches. Also has a stitched sole all the way around, which is great for durability. And the upper is cotton canvas, it's organic. And then it's also got a vegan leather lining, which looks very convincing. Kind of sounds like leather. It's got that soft, kind of waxy feeling. I think the chunky laces on the GOBI sneaker look really cool as well. It's also got a little padding around the ankle, which makes it feel softer so that there's nothing rubbing there. And then same thing in the back of the heel here. There's a really nice heel lock because your heel just sits into the back of the shoe and catches there instead of sliding up and down. The inner lining is also undyed cotton canvas. It feels pretty soft, but it has enough texture where you're not sliding around in there. So it's a really good option to wear barefoot. And the canvas has a really good weight too because it feels thick enough to be durable, but then in the summer when it starts to warm up, it's thin enough where it'll breathe pretty well. Although if you got up about 80 degrees, then it might start to get sweaty because there is no perforation or anything like Vivo's running shoes. And then one last note on the upper, I really like the tag there. It's very sneaker-esque. And on the inside, you can see that the shoe is actually 98% natural materials, and then the sole is 100% natural rubber. Speaking of the sole, it's 3.7 millimeters, has some really nice flexibility in every direction. You can make it into a pretzel. Has Vivo's hex tread, so it provides a decent amount of grip on pavement, and their rubber is pretty tacky. Also, you can see the little Vivo logo here, and this is some denser rubber. So this is the key wear spot for most shoes. When your foot's rolling down, your big toe hits here. But if you look really close at the hex tread, you can see that it's slit horizontally, like laser cut. And so even in the back here, there's still a ton of flexibility despite the more dense heel. Another thing I love about the GOBI sole is how high it comes up because the water resistance is very good. As long as you're not going over the rubber here, you're not gonna get any water into the shoe. But overall, the Vivo GOBI series is my favorite sole for walking around on the roads because it just feels so smooth and buttery, like almost wearing nothing at all. If you want a leather version, there's also the Vivobarefoot GOBI Sneaker Premium Leather Edition. Looks like a classic Adidas Samba, you know, with the white on the back and the tan sole, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. The only thing I'll note about it is that the leather has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's pretty good at shedding water, whereas the GOBI canvas can soak it up a little bit more, but you can treat either one with wax, which definitely helps keep the water resistance super high. If you want an even lighter option, this is the Ahinsa Vida. It's made with a cotton hemp upper, and the toe box is pretty similar. It's actually getting towards extra wide, just like Vivo. It might be even a little bit more squared off in front, so if you have wider toes, this would also be an excellent option. In terms of the tread, it's 4 millimeters, so just slightly thicker than the GOBI sneaker. They feel pretty similar, but Ahinsa doesn't cut lines this way, so there's just a little bit less flex horizontally, although the deeper tread does give you just a little bit more grip and protection on gravel. But like the GOBI, it's nice and soft, so again, feels great for walking on urban terrain. If you want a mid-cut vegan barefoot option, this is the Mukishoes Duna, and even though the sole shape looks a little bit more standard wide, it's got a ton of room up on the laces here, and the rubber is very soft and bendy, so I actually consider these to be extra wide, and they should fit pretty much any foot shape. The upper is also an organic cotton hemp blend, undyed, and this has the thinnest lining of the three, so I think it works the best in hotter weather, even though it has a slightly higher cut. And for the sole, this is the thinnest at 3.5 millimeters, so this feels really like wearing absolutely nothing. You get some excellent ground feel through here. And Mukishoes, even though it's thin, it has very nice grip. This is probably one of the most grippy barefoot rubbers that I've tested. And because the lugs are rounded, they do an excellent job of resisting wear despite how thin the sole is. But yeah, also stitched like the GOBI. And then in terms of feel, this is the closest to being absolutely barefoot. If you want a vegan barefoot option for colder weather, this is the Wildling Haldy. It's got more of a standard wide toe box, lots of room in there, but not quite as much room as the others. Although it is nice and squared off in front. And inside it's got a lightweight wool upper, so it's got a good temperature range. And it's got Wildling's new sole, which wraps higher up around the boot and gives you some nice water resistance for nasty weather. And it also has a membrane layer, which helps with water resistance. But like Mukishoes, it's also 3.5 millimeters, so this is one of the thinnest barefoot shoes you can get. I love the update that Wildling made to their sole because they've kept the same sort of tabby split down the middle, which gives you some nice flex, but they've closed off this portion, which used to be open and not wrap up as high, especially around the middle of the shoe. So like I said, the water resistance is much better. And the rubber is nice and soft, which feels amazing for walking on roads, but it's not quite as durable for a rough terrain like gravel. All right, so that's my first impression review, the Vivobarefoot GOBI Sneaker Premium Canvas Edition, but I'll let you guys know how it goes in the long-term review. And in the meantime, if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop with the referral links down below, browse and filter more products with the shoe finder tool, my website barefootwear.org, or watch my zero drop transition video to learn more about barefooting. Finally, if you have a question about the Vivobarefoot GOBI Sneaker Premium Canvas Edition or about barefoot shoes in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.